Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of Andrewsfootball.com. Welcome to my Week 2 preview. I'm super amped up for this. Now, stick around to the very end where I'm going to give you some of my predictions and some games you can put down some action on. Now, I'm going to break down the majority of games for Week 2, but if I don't break down the game that you're interested in or you want me to go into further detail, you can leave a comment or you can go to askandrewsfootball@yahoo.com. Again, the email askandrewsfootball, all one word, at yahoo.com. Now, again, I'm not going to break down every game, and all division games are big. All division games I'm going to pay extra attention to, but I'm going to break down 4 games real fast that kind of caught my eye. The first one is Chargers at Detroit. And this is very interesting to me because let's say the Chargers go on the road and they beat Detroit. They start off the season 2-0. This is a team that notoriously starts slow. They went 0-4 2 years ago. They went 1-2 to start the season last year. If they go 2-0 without Melvin Gordon and Derwin James, he's going to be out for a few months. So you have a key cog to your offense plus possibly your best offensive player, and you start off season 2-0, that's big. The rest of the AFC, watch out. And keep in mind, they were also 7-1 on the road last year. But now Detroit, on the other hand, is very interesting because they were up 24-6 in the fourth quarter. They had a tie. Let's say they go ahead and win this game. They win their home opener against the Chargers. They start off the season 1-0-1. A lot of people are thinking Detroit's a 4 or 5 win team. I had Detroit going 9-7. I'm really high on the Lions. I'm a lot higher on the Lions than a lot of other people are. A special shout out to my boy Luke G here. We're going to do a little preview when the Chiefs. We're going to do a little cooperation when the Chiefs and the Lions play each other. But that's a different thing. I'm kind of rambling right now. I'm super amped up. But bottom line, this is a game I'm really paying close attention to because if the Lions win, they start off 1-0-1. And that's really interesting. And then it also shows a lot of resiliency after blowing a 24-6 fourth quarter lead. If the Chargers win this game without Melvin Gordon, without Derwin James, and their biggest issue was starting slow, and now they're 2-0, AFC watch out. So that's a game I'm paying a lot closer attention to than probably a lot of other people. Another AFC-NFC game I'm paying really close attention to is Seattle at Pittsburgh. And this is interesting because it really makes sense for both these teams to go 1-1. It makes a lot of sense if these two teams go 1-1. But hypothetically, let's say Seattle wins this game. What does it mean if Pittsburgh starts off 0-2? All right. I mean, they lose to 2 playoff teams, but they're still 0-2. And what about Seattle starting off 2-0? That's very interesting in itself. Everything's kind of leaning towards both teams starting off 1-1. But if Seattle wins this game, what does it say about the Seahawks and what does it say about the Steelers? But most likely, in the way everything kind of lines up with the football gods, both these teams are going to go 1-1. Next game is a rematch of the NFC Championship game. I'm just a football fan here. I mean, I just want to see a good game. This is going to be a good game. Saints travel to the Rams. It's just going to be fun to watch. I don't really think I need to go into any more detail. It's just going to be a great game. And then Monday Night Football, I'm really going to pay close attention to. The Browns are going to New York. Greg Williams, when I did my breakdown of the Browns, I really thought that Greg Williams should have been the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Instead, he went to the Jets. The Jets are kind of an interesting story. Sam Darnold's not playing, which kind of bums me out as a fan. But Greg Williams going against his old team is going to be really, really interesting. It's in New York. Just as a fan, I'm really excited to watch this game. So those are 4 games I'm kind of paying extra close attention to. Even though they're not division rivalries, these 4 games really kind of caught my eye. All division games I'm going to pay extra close attention to. All division games I'm going to possibly watch twice. I mean, I got DVR. I'm going to make sure I watch them because I want to know how they do in the division. So prediction time, and this is big because I'm going to give you some predictions. It's an opportunity for you gamblers to make some money, or if you're just a football fan, hey, this is what I think. Titans are a 3-point favorite at home against the Colts. I like the Titans in this one. I think Titans are going to win the division. Derrick Henry, for you fantasy football fans, should have a big game. Austin Eckler, of course, had a big game, but Derrick Henry's a different type of beast. One thing about the Colts defense is that they're designed to be fast, and they're a smaller unit up front. I didn't like the way they played defense against more of a finesse team. The Titans are a smash mouth team. I expect Derrick Henry to have a big game. I like the Titans to win this game. If you're a gambling fan, this is my #1 game to bet on. Miami's going to cover 18.5 at home against New England. Remember last year, Miami actually won against New England at home. This is the one team that New England's had really difficulties playing against. For some reason or another, they go down to Miami. They've always had problems. 18.5. And I'm going to touch base on this later on in the video, but this would be my #1 game to bet on. No, I'm not saying Miami's going to win, but they're going to cover 18.5. Dallas is going to Washington. They're 5.5-point favorites. I like Dallas to cover, but what's really interesting about this is that if Dallas goes 2-0, they went 2-0 against two divisional rivalries, big rivalries in the Giants and the Redskins. Keep in mind, I don't think too many people thought that the Giants and Redskins were playoff caliber teams. But what does it say about Dallas starting the season 2-0, considering the issues that they had with Dak and Zeke? Well, Dak and Zeke are on the field, and they went 2-0 against two divisional opponents. The rest of the NFC should be worried about the Dallas Cowboys if they start 2-0. They definitely win this game. 5.5 is kind of a big number on the road. Usually these two teams play close, but I actually think the Giants have a better team than the Redskins. I know the Redskins played the Eagles pretty close, but Dallas should cover 5.5. I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to kind of confuse you because I talked about this game earlier. Seattle's a 3.5-point dog going to Pittsburgh, but I actually like Seattle. And if you remember earlier in the video, I said that the football gods have both these teams going 1-1, and that's true. Tomlin traditionally, after the Steelers lose big, has always come back angry. They've always been good about bouncing back. A West Coast team going to an East Coast team. All the signs are going for Pittsburgh to win this game. But Seattle's a 3.5-point dog, and they have the better team. So that's the one thing I really want you to think about. Out of all the games I'm going to mention, this is the one I like the least. But Seattle's got a better team than Pittsburgh. Bottom line, I really believe this. So that's why I like Seattle on 3.5. Keep in mind, I think it's going to be a close game. So, 21-20, 2017, Steelers win a tight game, 3.5. Still get you paid. So I do like Seattle. You get 3.5, and you're betting on the better team. But out of all the games I'm giving you, that would be my least favorite. Minnesota's a 3-point dog at Green Bay. Again, I think Minnesota's a better team, bottom line. Yes, I know Green Bay's defense looked really, really good. But bottom line, I think Minnesota's got the better team here. I really like the fact that they decided to just pound the ball and run the ball. Don't expect the same thing against Green Bay, but I like Minnesota. You get 3 points and you get the better team. The Saints, 2-point favorites at the Rams. So, it's the same type of thing. I think there's a revenge factor in there. I thought the Saints were the better team last year. I'm not going to get into what all happened in the NFC Championship game, but I do like the Saints to get revenge. So 2 points there. And then this is a game I really like. Chicago's a 2.5-point favorite at Denver. Keep in mind, Denver played on Monday Night Football while Chicago played on Thursday night. That's almost 4 days extra that you're getting. And yes, I know Vic Fangio, the former Chicago defensive coordinator, is now Denver's head coach, but you get 4 extra days, 2.5. I know Invesco Field, or whatever they call it, it's really Mile High. I mean, let's face it. When you talk Denver Broncos, it's Mile High Stadium. So bottom line, you're going to Mile High. It's a very difficult place to play, but you got the better team. You got 4 extra days, 2.5. That's a good number. I really, really strongly suggest that you take that. And is there any other games? Of course I'm going to talk Chiefs. You didn't think I was going to do this video and not talk about the Chiefs. It opened up to 8.5. It's now 7. I like Chiefs cover 7 in the black hole. I think the Raiders are a work in progress. I think that they're going to push for a wild card. Maybe they make it, maybe they don't. But the Chiefs are head and shoulders better than the Raiders. 7's a big number, but with Patrick Mahomes, I think that's very attainable. I wouldn't touch the over-under, but I like the Chiefs to cover 7 at the black hole. Now, I gave you 8 games. Am I telling you to run and put an 8-game parlay down? No. So if I was in Vegas, I'm going to tell you what I would do. There's 3 games I really, really like. Number 1, Miami and 18.5. Take that. Take that. I would do solo. Then I would do a 3-game parlay, and it's these 3 in this order. Miami 18.5. That's my number 1. I would strongly suggest you put money down on that. Second game is Chicago 2.5. Keep in mind, I am fully aware Vic Fangio is the head coach in Denver. He's Chicago's old defensive coordinator. But bottom line, you got an extra 4 days. Chicago's clearly the better team, and 2.5 is a small number. So I like that game second. And then the third game is Saints in a revenge game. You get their 2-point dogs at the Rams. Again, I think they're the better team. Yes, I'm aware that Todd Gurley's going to be 100%, and they did beat him in the championship game. But bottom line, there's a revenge factor, and I do think the Saints are the better team, so you get 2 points. So what I would recommend doing, do a solo bet on Miami, then do a 3-game parlay, and go ahead and collect. Let me know if there's any other games that you want me to give you some advice. But if I was in Vegas or I did online betting, I would do Miami 18.5, and then I'd do a 3-game parlay. And we'll see how I do, because if you watch my previous video, I said I liked Carolina in 6.5, and they lost the game. So, by the way, kudos to Tampa Bay. That defense under Todd Bowles looks really good. It could be problems on the offensive line. So I'm not going to touch base on those 2 teams right now. But listen, this concludes my Week 2 preview of the NFL. If you're a subscriber to Andrews Football, you already know you're one of the greatest people on planet Earth. All your wildest dreams are going to come true. But if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell. And look. All you got to do is see that button right there. See it. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Welcome to Andrews Football. Blah, 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 blah. I'm super amped up. Hey, enjoy this weekend, and I'll see you Wednesday.